This will be the year of the entrepreneur, not just a business owner, an entrepreneur, a person who decides that they want to bring their business, product, or service to the marketplace to fulfill a need, to provide something that people don't have, people are really looking for. Is that you? Hey guys, my name is Kurt Anderson and I am an entrepreneur, and I've been so for the last 10 years. My goal in this video is to give you a strategy, one that I've used and several other super achiever entrepreneurs have used to take those resolutions, those goals, and those dreams and turn them into reality. Just last year, we saw our first $1 trillion company succeed, and we also saw masses of people utilizing stimulus checks because their businesses were failing because of the pandemic. One thing we know for sure is that money doesn't disappear, it just exchanges hands. And for you, I want to put you in position where you can take this strategy and utilize it to your advantage so you can be one of those that are profiting, that are succeeding this year going forward. The first one you've probably heard before. It's probably not unfamiliar to you, but let's put it in perspective. And that is, what's your why? Or better yet, you need to have a stronger why. Remember this, if your why isn't strong enough, the fortitude of your commitment won't be powerful enough to push you through those tough times. And that's what entrepreneurs know. That's where you see people do magical things with businesses and you can't really figure out how they did it. Or you'll see somebody achieve goals lightning fast. I promise you, a lot of times those folks are tied to their why, and that's giving them the advantage of speed, is giving them the advantage of fortitude to push through those commitments that they made earlier that year or in previous years. Another one is to take a self-assessment. This is hard. This is a look in the mirror. This is you looking back at last year's progress, successes, failures, and analyzing. Say to yourself, okay, what did I do well? How did I manage my time? How could I have done better? What didn't I know? What things can I do to make myself or my business better going into the next year? You take these together and this will help you in your strategy for the following year. The third strategy is to make sure you implement a lifestyle of gratitude. Because you may not be where you want to be right now. You may not have hit that pinnacle position or that dollar amount or that lifestyle that you're looking for, but you've done something well. And what happens in your mind if you are grateful, if you live a life of gratitude, is that you're triggering your mind to be happy about abundance that you already have. And that also triggers your mind to achieve more abundance, to seek more abundance, because your mind is focusing on what things made you feel good. So you want to have a mindset, a strategy, an attitude of gratitude. Remember, maybe you wanted a better car, but there's somebody who doesn't even have a car and they're thinking, man, I would love to be in their shoes. So have an attitude of gratitude, of gratefulness, so you can really be in a position to say, you know what? My mind knows where I'm going, and now let's go to another level, to the next level up, because this gratitude, this gratefulness of what I've already achieved is going to trigger my mind to take me to the next level. Now you've established your strong why. You have done a self-assessment. You have adopted a attitude and a strategy of being grateful and having gratitude. The next thing to do is to set the goal. But before you just jump out there and say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want you to set the goal after, set the business goal after you set your life goal. Let me explain. A lot of times that we get these astronomical business goals that require hard work, that require all these things, but ask yourself first, is this in line with my life goals and what I'm willing to do with my life? Am I willing to work late nights? Am I willing to be on the road traveling more than I'm home with my family? Am I willing to get up early in the morning to open a business, to start a business, or stay up late to run a business online? What am I willing to do? Ask yourself, is this in accordance with my life plan? Now remember, plan your business goal only after you've planned your life goal, not the other way around. Design your goal with an accountability coach. Listen, if I could give you a gift, it is that you want to have the best accountability coach or mentor or partner that you can possibly have. Who's going to hold you to it when you make a commitment, when you have these ideas, when they know it's possible for you? Who's going to hold you to that? I'll tell you what's funny. I work my business with my wife, and we are each other's accountability partners. And she's quick to tell me when I'm not living up to something that I promised myself, when I'm not living up to my own potential. You need someone like that who's going to be in your corner to push you, to remind you, and even that person should know your why, so they can really use that to drive you to that next level. This next strategy for me is the one that most people, get mixed up on. They don't really understand this. And, you have goals and they seem like, if I do the work, I can get there. If I, sell the product, if I, show the opportunity, if I do the things I need to do, then I can get to where I need to be. But there's a problem. There's a reason why you're not attracting the right people. They're attracting customers, attracting new business. There's a reason for that. Is that because you have to become a better you. Remember, the becoming part is all part of that growth strategy. The you that started the year off won't be the same person that hits every single goal. You need to develop in order to get to where you want to go. Becoming a better you really is growing the lid on what you can accomplish. It's taking your muscle memory to a higher level. And muscle memory is not how much you can do. It is what's the least that you can do. What's the least that you are accepting in your life? What is that level where you know that you can at least do this? Well, if your level is $1 million, you'll find yourself always coming back to at least making $1 million. If your level is $100,000, you'll always come back to at least making $100,000. That's what your lifestyle is built on. You won't go out and say, you know what? I'm used to making 100 grand a year, but this year I'm going to accept $10,000. You'll never do that. You'll find ways, you'll create ways to really build that lid and what you're used to. But how do you grow that lid? Well, you have to implement education, experience, practice over and over and over again. It often can be found in books. It often can be found in programs, in classes. It often can be found in mentors and people who are guiding you in the right direction. But if you really want to become a better you, you have to dedicate yourself to the things that are going to make you better. That education, that experience, that practice. And that's going to take your muscle memory on what you can accept all the way to that level that also hits you at your goal, that also takes you to your goal. Down. Yes, write it down, pen to paper, think it and ink it, right? Write down a specific plan of action. Specific. Why specific? Because it's not enough to say I want to become a millionaire. It's not enough to say I want to be fit. You have to detail it. Do you know what your fit life looks like? Do you know the weight that you want to be? Do you have an image in your mind what you want your body to look like, or maybe someone else that you want to look like physically? Right? But you got to write these things down. You have to visualize it and design it after things that you've written down. But I want you to take us to another level. A lot of people say, hey, Kurt, I want to be a millionaire, right? And that term is used so much. And so many people use the term and they go off and start working a business and think that they're on the right pace. But do you know that $1 million is a little over $83,000 a month? Do you know that making $1 million is a little over $20,000 in a week? Do you realize this is over $2,700 in a day? And out of that time frame, you have about 6 working hours in a day. So that's about $172 per working hour that you have available in that day. So you have to look at yourself and say, man, what do I have on my plate that is in the way of me making my 172 per hour for those 16 hours I'm awake that day? Can you watch Netflix all day? Can you play video games? Can you be on social media? Can you take naps all day? Can you do things that are unproductive? The answer is probably no if you are not already used to making this level of money. So you have to make sure you write down your goals in accordance with what you want to accomplish. It doesn't have to be $1 million. It doesn't even have to be a dollar amount, but just write down specifically what you want to accomplish and what ways are you going to utilize your time in order for you to get there. For me, I know that it's often something I have to take out of my in order for me to hit my goal. Now, a lot of times that we do these things in 90 and 120 day time frames to ramp up, and then you can live a little, but you focus, you're laser focused during that time frame. Take action. This is the biggest one. You know, you can do everything else without taking action, nothing else matters. Remember, the difference between a dream and a goal is execution. It's implementation. So yeah, do what you have to do. Write down your why. Okay, figure out what you need to do to get better. Self-assess, figure out what you need to do to get better. Get with a mentor, get somebody accountable for you, right? But even some other things along the journey. You know, if there's something you need to research or something you don't know, answers you don't have, get those, but then get going. Don't forget to get going. And most people I know watch other people who seem like they're less educated or skilled or don't have the know-how that that person has, and they look up and say, man, this person is beating me to the finish line. They're beating me to my goal. And the reason is because they have a map, okay? They have a map. They have a written map. They wrote out their goal and they're executing. They are getting in the car and driving to their destination. The key is you either don't have the map or you won't get in the car and drive. So that means you're either driving all over the place with no map, nowhere to go, or you're one of those people who is not even getting in the car. You're just overlooking, you're reading the map over and over and over again to make sure you're going the right place, but you never actually get in the car and go. Last bonus tip I want to give you guys, and I just want to reiterate one thing. If I can give you anything that is really the difference maker, in addition to the steps that I named, it is having a laser focused discipline. That is going to be the key. Getting up every day despite what's happening in the world, despite what's happening in your own household, your own family, your own children, your own spouse. All those things can take you away from the goal, and 9 times out of 10, you're trying to provide better for your family, for your kids, for your spouse. But deterrences can really take you away from your goal. So stay laser focused. Write your goals in places where people can see them, where you can see them. And make sure that you wake up every day with the goal for that day on your mind, and you execute immediately. With that being said, guys, thank you. My name is Kurt Anderson, and I will see you in the next video.